Hello, everybody. Good afternoon and welcome to the State Theater and this wonderful concert we're hoping to present for you very shortly here. I'm Richard Miller, the bandmaster of the Pennsylvania State. Woo! Yeah! 8543 band from North Union. We are very excited about our welcoming to this Christmas holiday concert 10. The band's been together 11 years, but this is our 10th concert because we missed the 2020 because of COVID. So we're getting it back up. Before we begin, I'd like to share some background information with you about the band. Formed in February 2012 with just 11 players, the band is currently made up of 55 talented instrumentalists and vocalists. Military veterans, active and retired music teachers, current and former school band students, and local musicians, all dedicated to performing great music for the enjoyment of our local communities. The age of our members ranges from 14 to 94. Isn't that amazing? Speaking of our local communities, some of the events for which the concert band is performed for this year include the Penn State Fed Campus 52nd Annual Graduation Ceremony, Memorial Day ceremonies at the Fair Chance Exchange Club Park and Sylvan Heights Cemetery, and the Pennsylvania Association of School Retirees. The 18-piece swing band, directed by Bob Veneer, over there, has played for the 125th anniversary of the Uniontown Ducks Club, the Fair Bank Broad and Runt Country Club, and the Veterans Appreciation Day at the Ambets in Hoffman, which was sponsored by Veterans Affairs Office, which is chaired by Mr. Brian Benson. In August, both groups performed for our Support for Ukraine concert, in which the band raised $2,000 in association with the Brothers Brother Foundation of Pittsburgh. We sent the money to them and they forwarded it wherever we needed to get it. As in past years, we've had inquiries from people who would like to make financial contributions to help sustain the 8543 band's musical activities. In regards to this, to my right, down there, your left,
we're not pointing at you.
you will find a highly colorful, decorated container placed there for such a purpose of making donations. Also, you know there's a couple people walking around selling 50-50 tickets. The winner will be drawn and announced after the intermission before we begin the second half of the concert. And now is my time to get out the show. Please welcome to the microphone a very good buddy for 85 years, musical accomplice, Mr. Howard Holsack.
I'm really proud of you, Rich. You made the joke. How about giving him a round of applause for making it? He's so proud of that. How you guys doing?
Here!
All right, you ready to have a good time? Okay, so we're going to do one song and then we're done for 20 minutes. Read the chart. Hello, everybody. Let's cut to the chase. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the Star Spangled Banner, so if you please rise, join and sing along with us, Star Spangled Banner. Thank you very much.
Through the perilous time,
got to think of Grace. Sand breakfast, yeah, dinner. What? You never saw Christmas? There he goes. He's already giving me a hard time. You know what? I quit. Whoa! I love hecklers, just for the heck of it. Our first concert selection was written by composer Jerry Herman for the 1966 Broadway musical production of Mamie. Mame? He was maimed. Starring Angela Lansbury and B. Arthur, the song is performed in the show to help Auntie Mame loft her spirits after she loses her future in the... This is great. Who writes this stuff? You write this stuff? Read it. Featuring our vocal quartet of Alicia Costello, Lori Green, Lori Quadro, and I don't know who the other guy is. We present our adaptation of Johnny Mathis' version of We Need a Little Christmas. And it goes something like this. All around the holly, put up the tree for my spirit falls again. Fill up the stocking, I might be rushing things, but deck the halls again now. For we need a Christmas, right this very minute. Candles in the window, carols at the spinet. Yes, we need a little Christmas, right this very minute. Just not a single flurry. Wind down the chimney, turn up the brightest string of lights you've ever seen. Slice up the fruitcake, it's time we hung some tinsel on that evergreen bough. For we go a little later, go a little colder, go a little louder, go a little older, and we need a little angel sitting on the shoulder. Need a little Christmas now. Oh, we need a little Christmas, need a little laughter, need a little singing, reaching through the rafter, and we need a little stopping, happy ever after, need a little Okay, we're going to take a short break. Keep going. Keep going. All right, the Carpenters in 1970 was a pop group that I think most of us know who they are. In California, included Richard on keyboards and Karen on drums. They recorded actually one of my favorite Christmas albums, is the Carpenters. They had a hit song that went to #1 charts the seasons in 70, 71, 73, featuring Lori Quadro with an alto sax solo from Jeremiah Bennett. Here is our ballad rendition of Merry Christmas, Darling.
Greeting cards have all been sent. The Christmas rush is through. I still have one wish to make. I
Our next selection is a medley, and for those that don't know, that means more than one song in a row. Tim, did you know that? You didn't know that? Okay, well, I just learned Tim died something, so thanks for that. We can go home now. It's a medley of two angelic Yuletide favorites, Angels from the Realms of Glory, and Angels We Have Heard on High. Originally recorded by piano guys with vocalists Peter Hollins and David Archuleta, and the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. I didn't know that. I don't think were you guys Mormon? Not today. Not today. Anyway, this is our version of it's an Angels medley.
Angels from the realms of glory, wing your flight over all the earth. You sing creation's story, now proclaim the
Live music, everything changes, right? You don't push play. Extremely live. How you doing, Mr. Miller? You okay? No?
Happy to be here.
Not sure what that means. Former lead singer of the pop groups, the Crystals and the Blossoms. Darlene Love has been successful with rock and roll Christmas songs as a solo artist, using material written by such pop music royalty as Ella Greenwich, that's royalty, Jeff Berry, Phil Spector, and Steve Van Zandt. The 8553 band featuring our vocal quartet, 1, 2, 3, 4, with alto sax soloist Jeremiah Bennett is back. Are we gonna have to pay this guy now? Because he played 2 solos. Oh, don't forget Nola Longoria, there she is. Nola's playing too on the Barry sax. We presented 2-song medley. Remember what I told you? It's more than 1 song in a row. You got that? The picture guy. I'd like to thank this guy for taking pictures of us. Mr. Schaefer, thank you very much. I don't know why he puts up with us. Anyway, please come home and All Alone at Christmas. A Darlene Christmas.
Christmas,
Don't forget to get the concessions. The popcorn is very salty. So my blood pressure is way up right now. Gloria Gerda ate 4 buckets of popcorn tonight. Don't deny it. It's just one. And 50-50. Don't forget about the 50-50. I think they're floating around right now. I think they're out in the lobby, correct? So we're going to be coming back here. We're going to be out here eventually. So, 1984, Mark Lowry, former member of the contemporary gospel group, the Gaither Vocal Band, was asked by his church pastor to sing in their production of the Living Christmas Tree that year. For that event, Mark wrote the lyrics for our next selection. Buddy Green composed the music. The song was first recorded by the Gaither Vocal Band in 1988 with Mark singing lead. Right now, this is our rendition version of Mary Did You Know? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will one day walk on water? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would save our sons and daughters? Did you come to make you new? This child that you delivered will soon deliver you. Mary, did you know that your baby boy would give sight to a blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby that your baby boy is Lord of all creation? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will one day rule the nations? Did you know that your baby boy is heaven's child you're holding is the great Now you finally get to hear a song without somebody singing. Okay, I'm not not singing the rest of the night. Whoever said that, I hope you're happy. Psych, I'm singing all night long. You know why? Because it's Christmas time, right? It's fun. And we're allowed to say Merry Christmas in this building. Happy holiday, Mike. Merry Christmas. In 1996, Paul O'Neill's group, the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, hit the big time with their amazingly musical, rocking, and theatrical medley arrangement. I have to take a breath here. Of two traditional Christmas songs. God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, it's one of Dane Schultz's favorite songs in the whole world. And Carol of the Bells. Carol of the Bells? Carol Bells, one of her favorite songs. Even though it's bells, not wells. The TCO, because we can call them that because we know them personally. That's the Trans-Siberian Orchestra for you guys. Gained worldwide recognition when their musical selection was featured at the 2000 Winter Olympics in Sarajevo, Yugoslavia. And all joking aside, folks, please enjoy this. You're going to really enjoy this Christmas in Sarajevo. Okay, you can sit down now. Written by Hugh Martin and Ralph Blaine, and introduced by Miss Judy Garland in the 1944 MGM musical motion picture, Meet Me in St. Louis, or Louis. St. Louis? Our next selection became extremely popular among U.S. military troops fighting in World War II. Garland's famous performance of this melancholy song at the Hollywood Canteen in Los Angeles by soldiers departing for the war in the Pacific to tears. You gonna make everybody cry tonight? Okay. And now to put her own version of Making You Cry on this nostalgic Christmas ballad, here's Lori Green with her version of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be far away. Here we are, the golden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends, you're dear to us, gathered near to us once more. Through the years, we all will be together. If the fates allow, hang a shining star on the horizon. Have yourself a merry little Christmas now. Through the years, we all will be together. If the fates allow, hang a shining star on the horizon. Have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
Okay, so we've been singing for about, what, 10 minutes? Huh? 40. Last one, you having fun, right? You should have a program. Everybody have one of these? There are songs in there that we are going to, yeah, on the back. Our Christmas sing-along. Can we get the lights up there, Andy? Can we get you guys to sing along with us? All the usual Christmas songs. And there you go, a little bit of light. Well, we can see those people right there. That's all that matters. Right there in the middle. Oh, okay, we can see everybody now. So if you join us, Tim, can you sing, Mr. Dye? Yeah, you'll fit right in with me. Perfect. All right, so here we go. Christmas sing-along. Join with us. Hark the Herald Angels sang. Happy birthday.
Glory to the newborn King.
I heard you guys singing. I heard this guy right down front. Who knows that guy right here in the middle? That's your husband? Was he singing?
Maybe.
Were you singing? No. Thank you.
So one singer in this household.
Oh my goodness. All right, so right now we're going to do another one of the medley songs where there's more than one song in a row. Am I good? Okay. So in 1949, were you born in 49? Earlier. Candlelight. 1949, American composer Johnny Marks wrote one of the most popular and memorable songs of the Christmas season about one of Santa's most famous reindeer. Mason, do you know who that reindeer is? Rudolph, you're right. Then in 1958, with the birth of rock and roll, that's gotta ruin everything, right? Rock and roll gotta ruin everything. Guitarist Chuck Berry wrote another holiday song dedicated to that same reindeer, featuring our vocal quartet, ta-da, and a trumpet solo by Mr. Bobby Manier. I used to say little, but your wife got mad at me for saying little Bobby Manier. But I just got it in there, didn't I? Anyway, there's a couple of songs. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Run, Run, Rudolph.
You know Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, Comet and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen. But do you recall the most famous reindeer on
little scary. He sleeps in that every night. It's so weird. But hey, you know what? As long as he's happy, right? Guess what time it is? We're Western Pennsylvania, right? What happens in Western Pennsylvania? Mount Vernon wins the Whippy-O! Sorry, that's right. Now we have to do a polka. You ready for a polka? No? So Willie Thomas Phelps, no relation to the swimmer, an American songwriter and country western guitarist, wrote our next selection in 1963 for country music star Jim Reeves. Thank you. 12 Songs of Christmas album. What is rather unusual about this song is that a country music writer wrote this song for a country music singer. Why is that weird? What's weird is that a country music wrote a music, but it's not a country style song, it's a polka. Okay, now featuring our vocal quartet, that's 4 of us again. The Merry Christmas Polka. Communists, I'm gonna think you're gonna be down here dancing, so. It's the Christmas, there isn't any reason we can dance the Christmas polka. It's the lovely, everybody singing, dancing the Christmas polka. And love just fills the air. It's a wonderful world for a boy and a girl, dancing the Christmas polka. The Merry Christmas polka. Let's dance, let's dance. Everyone's so happy. The air is filled with romance. All the sweethearts they sing as they dance in the mistletoe. It's a sight to behold for the young and the old. The Merry Christmas Go ahead, Jared, get the chair. What was that? The Merry Christmas polka. It's Christmas season, so there isn't any reason we can't dance the Christmas polka. It's the lovely, everybody singing, dancing the Christmas polka. And love just fills the air. It's a wonderful world for a boy and a girl, while dancing the Christmas polka. All right, so we're going to take a brief intermission here. 6.5 minutes. Okay, so we're going to take a brief 15-minute break, the 50-50 tickets. Right after the intermission, we're going to draw the tickets up here, and somebody's going to win 200 big ones. I don't know what it is. It could be 35 big ones, but either way, it's going to be big ones that you didn't come in here with.
Jingle your way through the holidays by supporting local with our very own Christmas elves, Faye and Eddie, as your guides. They know the best places for you to get all the gifts you need to make your Christmas sparkle. Visit Jolt Bike right down the road in Waltersburg. Jolt Bike is an electric bike store offering retail sales of new electric bikes, parts, accessories, services just minutes from Uniontown. Perfect for tourism, exploration, outdoor recreation, your health and wellness, and more. Get out and enjoy the great outdoors. Go further with Jolt Bike. Shop local, shop Fayette, and keep the Christmas cheer here.
Whip Shetler, where are you? You need to come up here. Come on up here. We got your check for $2 million for you.
While Whip's coming up here, I'm going to explain why he's coming. Inside of your program, it says there's a dedication here. And the dedication is to a group that I'm involved with very heavily. It's the Pennsylvania Association of School Retirees. And our band had a chance to play for a group that met out at the VFW post 8543. And beforehand, I called and asked Whip, could I come on your radio show, the Dog Tag Club, and talk about what we were doing? Region 7, which encompasses Fayette, Greene, Westmoreland, and Washington counties. The Pennsylvania Association of School Retirees has a chapter in each county. All those chapters collected items that were then assembled and put into gift bags to be sent to the veterans down at the Clarksburg VA home. And our members were so generous, we were able to make 98 bags that day and had a lot left over for to just take down to the vet center in Morgantown. Well, what I'm giving this to Whip, he led us on his show to talk about PASR. And PASR, in fact, we have members here. If you are a member of PASR and I see you out there, can you please either stand up or raise your hand? Because I see you sitting there. They are. There's some back there. I think there's Fayette chapter there. There's Greene chapter here. And it is so good to see everybody. We do a lot of work, community outreach. Well, Mr. Shetler let me come on his show, talk about PASR, and the people at the state, which is out of Mechanicsburg, watched it and have awarded Mr. Shetler and the Dog Tag Club a state award. An Outstanding Media Recognition Award to the Dog Tag Club in recognition of the mature judgment, devoted labor, and unselfish dedication to the citizens of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the members of the Pennsylvania Association of School Retirees. I'd like to present this to Mr. Shetler and his support of our group.
We'd also like to congratulate women.
I did. Okay. We also like to congratulate Whit and his lovely wife. This is their 51st anniversary and they're spending it with us.
I also want to say that Whip and his friend Bob Doria have the band on the radio from time to time. We're going to go in there and talk about what we're doing, the events we're having. We really appreciate his airtime that he offers to us, also to help promote what we're doing. Thank you.
We're also going to dedicate this to Whip, our service on his medley. What we do here is we recognize all the branches of service, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard. What's that? Army. I'm sorry. We're going to add the Space Force. And be added in the spring because they're going into space. Space Force. It was a challenge. But what we do is when we do this song, how many of you have heard our concert before? Raise your hands. So you know what's happening. You have no idea what's going on right now. So you two have to come up here and dance. They didn't tell you that? They don't know. No, I'm just kidding. No, seriously, no. What we do is when we play your song of the branch of the service that you were in, if you could please stand so we can recognize you. We now, this service song is that? The Coast Guard. You're the Coast Guard. got one. That's all we need. Please stand up so we can recognize you. It's kind of odd to have that at Christmas time, right? But you know what? That's what this country's all about. We need to remember that. You can say whatever you want, but if it wasn't for them, you wouldn't be sitting here right now. In the freedom, the umbrella that they have, right? Liz, you ready? So our next selection is a tongue-in-cheek look at Christmas list addressed to Santa Claus. Did you have your list of Santa Claus yet? You gave it to that guy right there, didn't you? How's that ring coming? Anyway, Liz is going to do her own version of Santa Baby right now.
Santa baby, slip on
Based on an original idea that came to him during a heat wave in New York. Is that the right song? Based on an original idea that came to him during a heat wave in New York City in 1946, Rich Miller, oh no, not me. 1946, you were 12. Leroy Anderson too this is most popular, and in keeping with the spirit of the composition, the original 45 RPM. How do you know what a 45 RPM is? Yeah. Y'all is old. How do we know what a 33 is? Way old. How many? No. 78. Thomas Edison. Evan knew what that was. It's nothing. Thomas Edison. Anyway. So the original 45 RPM recording was released on red vinyl in 1950. Whatever, red vinyl. Lyrics for this song were added by Mitchell Parrish. According to ASCAP, those are the people where you go when you write a song. This song ranks in the top 10 most performed selections during the Christmas season worldwide. 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 Prestige worldwide. And we will help to keep that tradition alive with our performance of Sleigh Ride. my favorite songs growing up. At some point I will grow up. Not sure when, right, hon? Huh? Yeah. I think so. 1847, Adolphe Adam composed a Christmas carol. It is Adolphe. To the words of French post. Yeah, what pronounce this? So this French guy wrote a song, Midnight Christians. And if you need to know afterwards, I'll show you what the word is. It's French. The text of the poem reflects upon the night of the birth of Jesus and mankind's hopeful redemption. And this is our version of All Holy Night. Nick, you ready?
Oh, holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long may the world in sin and error pining till he appeared and the soul fell its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoiceth, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn.
Kids having fun yet? No? Christmas music. You know, the last one we did the sleigh ride song, you know, with the clapping and all that. That's the one that takes me back to being a little kid, where we used to sit around and read books in candlelight. Remember, you and I sat together. We Known each other 85 years. Okay, well, you ready, girls? We're gonna do, this is a good one too. If you guys can sing along. It's in Spanish, though. Do you know what it is yet? Oh, you have a program. Whatever. If you didn't know, if you didn't have a program, what song would you think it is? Fleas on your dog. Oh, who that crazy lady is. All right, well, anyway, I'm not going to introduce it. Let's just do it. Feliz Navidad. Right back there? You okay? Need some water? Okay, let's keep moving here. First sung on Eddie Cantor's, you know how long ago that was? First sung on Eddie Cantor's radio show in November of 1934. This J.F. Coots, somebody wrote, hey, J.F. Coots. Hey, J.F., let's carry this song. And Heyman Gillespie, it's an instant hit, folks. Has been recorded in numerous styles and by a variety of artists, including Harry Resner and his banjo band, Tommy. Really? A banjo band? You were there. Yeah, you played the door. Tommy Dorsey, Alice Cooper, who's related to my wife. Seriously. He's from Smock, you know that, right? Who's Smock? Who's Smock? Go Smock. Just change the name. Alice Cooper, the Jackson 5, and Bruce Springsteen, Frankie Valli, and the Four Seasons. I was going to ask you, do you know what the name of the song is? But you have a program. Stop giving them out programs. We're just going to do it. Santa Claus is coming to town. We're going to do the Pittsburgh version. Santa Claus is coming to town and that.
I'm going to talk one more time, quickly. When we're sitting up here and you're applauding and you're enjoying the show, it makes us feel really, really good. But the person who makes this, this band sound the way we sound, because of his arranging of the music for who sits in front of him, it's an art, an absolute art. And one of the things that makes me feel so wonderful is the fact that we'll be playing and he'll say, you know what, I'm going to redo that for next week. And he goes home and does it all over again and pans us the music. You saw it happen today. He passed it out right here. We did a revision. And it's to make us sound good who's sitting here. And without Mr. Miller and his dedication to us, the 8543 band, this wouldn't happen, any of it. So I would like to, on behalf of the band, present Mr. Miller with his Christmas gift and to let him know how much we care.
And as always, it's a gift certificate from Eastport, Pennsylvania.
good time? Before we play our final selection this afternoon, there are a few acknowledgments and thank yous that we would like to make to those who contribute to the continued success of our Christmas holiday concert events. Number one, the officers, staff, and members of the VFW Post 8543 band and the staff itself for the support of our musical activities, especially Post Commander Carl Stockton. The staff at the State Theater, especially Executive Director Erica Miller, lighting and sound tech Andy McDonald and his buddy back there, Flash. Rick Fight with the Fayette Chamber of Commerce, who's video recording this for us today. And you can look for it later on, probably this week or later next week, on Channel 77. When we did the Ukraine show, they ran the program for like 2 months. It was great. They did a wonderful job. And we really appreciate Rick Fight and his people making that happen. Tammy Nedrow, the Office of Fayette County Commissioners, she helped get the word out about our program as well. And so did Brian Benson with the Fayette County Office of Veterans Affairs. Dave Bork, CEO of the Fayette County Community Action Center, in regards to the Fayette County Food Bank. When you came in tonight, you brought a non-perishable food item, which will now then go to the Fayette County Food Bank. In the past, we have raised, or you have donated, between 800 to 1,000 pounds of food. And that all goes to the bank. How much is out there right now, I do not know. We'll get a word on it later on. Dan Martin of the U.S. Marine Reserve Toys for Tots program. If you brought in a toy, Dan and his people will take care of it. It gets out to the right kids that really need it for this year. WMBS Radio, a dog tag club with Whip Shetland, we met a little while ago, and his lovely wife, and Bob Doria, who provided us with the airtime for both the band's musical activities and performance schedule. All of the local advertisers and businesses who ran our flyers, and where's Mr. Shable? Where's he? There he is. Okay. John Stable's our photographer. He does a wonderful job. He prepares those flyers. We really appreciate what he does for us, so we can get out there and let you know what's happening. Thank you, Mr. Stable. I would also like to extend my personal appreciation and gratitude to these wonderful people behind me. Like Wilma said, we've been doing this 11 years. The band's been together. It's our 10th Christmas program. It's really a joy to stand up here, to sit up here actually, wait to talk to me anymore. When they're playing, they're pumping out their excitement, their enthusiasm, their talent, and I just soak it all in because I love it. It's great. I hope you do too as well. And I want to also thank this little blonde girl I have at home.
Oh, leave me out of this.
My wife couldn't be with us today as we were going to relieve. She had a little vertigo attack, so she's on in bed right now. But she puts up with it. Our 40th anniversary is this year. And she puts up with me for all this stuff. Another note of information, if there are any former and or current school band musicians or teachers who would like to become a part of this organization, get up and have it. Because we're always looking for talented, dedicated people to make this program work. Also, as part of the organization, is Mr. Chris Decker back there, who is the platoon cook, but he's the band manager. Volunteer, the swing band. Also, if you're not doing anything, Wednesday morning, December 7th this year, out of the Post, we're going to be having a special Pearl Harbor Day memorial service. I think it starts around 10:30. The band will be there playing also to help with the festivities. If you're available, come and have a good time. It's a real nice hall, and you have enjoying some music, and a little bit of camaraderie with your fellow veterans or people that you know that were in World War II, and I'd like to have you come out with this as well also. One thing, the concert band, I see a bunch here, we rehearse February through December, the 2nd, 4th, and 5th Mondays, when there is one, of the month, at 7 to 9 o'clock p.m. out at the Post, 8543, That's the building with the cannon and the tank sitting out front. But the hall is out back there. When you come in, we welcome you. Just come in and see what it's like. You might be really surprised at what we're doing and how well we can accomplish it. Your support for being here tonight is really wonderful. And also, by the way, if you're not doing anything on February 13th, 2023, come to a rehearsal. Bring your horn, sit in, have a good time, play with the guys. This bunch here is just phenomenal. It's a joy, I said, to sit in front of them and hear the sound come out of them. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. And now I turn it back over to this one. Oh yeah, so one more thing. Next Sunday, at 2 o'clock, Jeremiah, who's the band director at the National Guard, right, down in Morgantown, his group will be doing a concert at their hall down there. You can talk to him about where it is. It's a beautiful new building, what I've been told for the first time this year too. But he's really a great guy. And his missus is playing with us as well. Right? Now, our last closing slip.
What a round of applause for Mr. Nelson. It's to watch what we put together. And when we first started playing the song, we didn't have a whole lot of, we had a few new ones, but to watch it happen, and to watch everybody work as hard as they do, to watch it, and it's a total different sound over there at the fire. But you can't hear, I don't even know how the vocalists, or how we even get anything, because you can't hear anything, it's so loud. But here, the sound goes out to you, and I see how excited you guys are to hear it, right? We're not voting on it, so, but we're going to get moving here in our final selection. Widely considered to be the magnum opus, that is the biggest hit song by March composer John Philip Sousa. Our closing selection was written on Christmas Day. This is interesting. In 1896, while he was on an ocean liner, returning from a vacation in Europe, he composed the music in his head and committed it to paper upon his arrival back in Washington, D.C. In 1987, the Congress designated it as the National March of the United States of America. So he's on a ship, he writes it in his head, comes back, pens it, and then in 1987, our Congress designated it as the National March of the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, with great honor and pride, we conclude our program with World War II Army veteran Major Anthony F. Miller, that's Rich's father, his most beloved piece of patriotic music, The Stars and Stripes Forever.
next year.